we ask you to come over the airways, that they would give us the information that has been downloaded to them, so that they may give it unto us, that we may be better citizens, fathers, mothers, brothers, cousins, better community, and a better world just for you. God, we give you thanks, we give you praise. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank God. All right, and with your pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Bishop. Thank you so much, Bishop, for that prayer to start our week off. We need that every day. All right, everybody. Good. Every day we rise is a great day to be alive. And the Seven City Forms of Hampton Roads presents Portsmouth Coffee Talk. And I'm here, James Overton, with co-hosts Leah Drake Stitt and Thomas the Colonel Chapman. Good morning, co-hosts.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
And this morning we have a special guest with us. We have members of the Mary Red Nelson Hampton Roads Alumni Chapter of Virginia Union University. President Dennis Riddick, Treasurer Dr. Paula Boone, and the namesake of our alumni, Miss Mary Red Nelson. And I'll say good morning, but before we get started, I want you all to give me a few minutes here.
Thy hollow ground and dear walls, may they forever be. Dear Union, we still love thee. Thy hollow ground and dear walls, may they forever be. Dear Union, we still love thee. Over the happy hours we spend on the cherished and sacred hill, our dreams of joy to us attend. With truth and virtue to instill, thoughts of bygone days that shine fill my raptured soul with ecstasy. Our praises are God. You are God's gift to humanity. The cross for which you stand. Your majestic lights and face throughout the land. Thy hollow grounds and dear old walls, may they forever be. Dear Union, we still love thee. Thy hollow grounds and dear old walls, may they forever be. Dear Union, we still love thee.
Yay!
All right, that was the alma mater sung by the University of Virginia Union University Choir in the historic Coburn Hall, which is the chapel on the campus of Virginia Union University. So I thought it was a proper way to start our show this morning, and I appreciate y'all indulgence on that, especially you guys from HU and Norfolk State. You know, for sure.
I was waiting.
You have your day.
I was looking for your lips to move. I wanted to hear you sing it, not just play it.
That's one of the most difficult songs to sing for a non-singer. It's almost like the national Negro anthem. You know, it's got those highs and lows and things like that. But
and
I
Norfolk
do.
State, and Norfolk State song as well. Hard to sing.
Yes. All of them are difficult. But anyway, I'll start off with you, Mr. President Dennis Riddick. Tell us, the viewers here on Portsmouth Coffee Talk this morning, why you're here.
Okay. I was elected chapter president in 2019. nearly 3 years ago. And as a part of that, COVID-19 really we benefited from it because we went from having meetings on Saturdays and usually hover around about 10 or 15 people. But since COVID-19, our membership has really grown. We currently have about 48 members. We meet on the first Saturday of the month, and it's virtual. I don't like long meetings, so it's only for 1 hour. The minutes are sent out, the treasury reports and things are sent out. Our primary purpose of for Virginia Union is to promote the university. And how do we promote Virginia Union University? Really about three components. First one is goodwill, fundraiser, and student recruitment. Regarding our new members, but we try to recruit students coming out of who graduated from Virginia Union. We let them know the first year as a member of our alumni chapter, their membership dues are free. Some of the other benefits are to joining our alumni chapter is social networking and a professional. If you're looking for a job, we can connect you to people within the community that's already working, so it makes it a whole lot easier. And the third one also we use as a resource and also some connections and being able to have some type of connectivity. Like I said before, we meet the first Saturday of the month. Usually if there's a holiday that's following that, we move it to the second Saturday, and we meet from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. We have a PO box here in Chesapeake, so we've been excited. We've done some fundraising things. The last year, 2020, we raised $6,000 for our families program. This chapter is known for, we don't create funds to stay in our chapter. We give our funds back to the university. We've also done some, Dr. Kathy Everett, who is a chairperson for our recruitment effort at Virginia Union for our chapter, was instrumental in designing a COVID survivor tote bag. So what we decided to do was started to do target giving. So we created 85 bags and donated to the students that was living on campus to help them during COVID. That include temperature thermometers, different components that was inside the bag, and we presented to them. And also by presenting these bags to the students, they were very grateful. These are students from 757, and right now we also have been in training for. We have 6 people on in our chapter are preparing themselves to become mentors. We met with Dr. Mark James, who is a director of Virginia Union University mentor program. So right now we have 6 people in our chapters being prepared. We're here today to talk about the scholarship. And we have a historian with us too, Mary Red Nelson, and Dr. Paula Boone is our chairperson for the Reverend Joe B. Fleming Scholarship.
And I would ask this, since you mentioned Reverend Joe B. Fleming, why is it being named for him, the scholarship? Because it's being named permanently for him, this annual scholarship that the chapter has. So why is it being named after Reverend Joe B. Fleming?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's named after Reverend Joe B. Fleming because he's the man that knows how to pull money out of people. And that's important. But not only that, Joe loved Virginia Union University. He loved the school. And I met him when he was in Richmond. As a matter of fact, he graduated from the grad school and I graduated from undergrad at the same time. But one of the things that Joe was doing in Richmond that I learned was how to be a community organizer, how to pull people together in the community, and how to connect with folks. Joe knows how to connect with people. You don't make money unless you got a relationship. And he had a strong relationship because he was in things. He was involved in the community. So that's why Joe B. Fleming, because Joe B. Fleming was in everything that you could name. And being in those things, he connected, but he never, some people join things and they won't say, I went to Virginia Union or went to Hampton, or they may say they went to Hampton or went to Norfolk State. But Joe had our name out there. And you get money when people know who you are and what you're doing. That's the answer.
Yeah, and before we go into more about the event, Mary, I just want to ask you a question because we recently changed the name of the chapter, the Hampton Roads chapter, to the Mary Red Nelson chapter, alumni chapter, and you don't see that as often. But how does that make you feel, being a strong alumnus of Virginia Union and a longtime member of the alumni? How does that make you feel to be able to be here to witness that
Oh,
being named after you?
it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I'm here to know about it and know that you appreciate what I was trying to do in the community. So this is fantastic. And even more to me, I have a little brother who died and from the virus. And people saying all these things about him. And his wife said to me, it would have been nice if they had told him.
Mm.
And so when they said that, I said, thank you, Alumni Chapter, that you shared with me. I got to hear it. So that's why it's exciting. Now, I admit it's a little confusing because sometimes I don't be saying the name of the chapter. That I hear it and I wonder why they call it my name. So, but it's fantastic, and I thank you for at least saying that you love me and you love what I did. And I didn't do it out of because I wanted credit. I understood the importance of helping our Black communities to survive. And so often we just walk away from our
True.
schools. So
That's true.
from the day I graduated, on the day I graduated, I joined the alumni chapter, and I have never left it because
Mm.
that's important. So in
And,
'67,
and,
I became an alumnus.
and I'll add one more thing. I knew I said we'd go to the event. I just so intrigued by you, Mary, and what you've done for the university. And I remember you telling the story before. You didn't just graduate and go right to school. You had to work. You had to, I'm saying this because some of the students nowadays, they just, they get the scholarship and they go right into school and they never thinking about having to work to attend college. But that was a part of something you had to do at that time, even though you did have some help from some people that you had mentioned, but you did have to work. I don't
Yes,
know if you did it all the way through college, but I remember you saying you
uh,
had to work a
I
year before
I
you
had to
went
work
in or
through
something like
life.
that.
My mom died when I was 4 years old.
Mm,
I started I started to work at age 9, so I had to work through life. All for everything I've earned, I had to work for it, and so it made me. As I worked for it, it gave me skills that I could help other people see that you can do this. You don't have to graduate on time. And so I stopped, but always knew, and I tell you what made me finish school. You have some people who are really horrible, and they're Christians too. But because I would stop, they would say things like, she's gonna be in school all her life. She's never gonna finish school. And I think when I graduated, I sent a card to all those folks. I thanked them because there were times I would have quit, but I wasn't gonna let them win. So I just want you to know, people are gonna talk about you. They're gonna say things about you, but keep on going because you'll get it
Amen.
done.
That's
You'll get
right.
it done. That's what I did,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the truth. That's not a tale. Folks are your worst
yeah,
enemies, Christians.
yeah.
So, but they helped me finish school. So I sent them a nice little card thanking them for helping me to finish school.
Okay, we can talk about the event now, unless one of the co-hosts have a question for Ms. Nelson. I just thought that was important since the alumni chapter is named after her, and she's here with us today. That we give a little background about Mary. So, unless any of the co-hosts have a question for her right now, we can go into talking about the event. Colonel.
Yeah, I got one comment there. Let me put the disclaimer out there that the views listed on
Oh,
this program are those of the host and the guest and not of the radio station. And so we need to get that out there first. So, but I am a believer of what Mary said is in the beginning of her talk is what we call bottom line up front and talking about bluff. We call it bluff in military speech for speaking to others. Just tell it right on up front. And you mentioned that her Joe B. Fleming being a community organizer. And I remember the time when Barack Obama was coming around, and the Confederates of the Republican Party talked about the negative aspects of being a community organizer. But that is turned around today because we look at community organizers, especially in the Black communities, and those that emanate from the our HBCUs are the interconnectionness of HBCUs is a lot different from if I go to another program that's not an HBCU school.
Yes.
And there's a sense of family.
Yes.
That I won't go if I went to, say, ODU or Penn State or somewhere, some other large whatever school is out there. But there's nothing like an HBCU school. There is nothing like it. And so I have also been a long-time supporter of HBCU schools. And we have to, and as a graduate of two HBCU programs, and I've got on the other side, I've got 2 degrees from the other side persuasion. I give my money to my HBCU brothers and sisters out there. So I am glad to participate in this piece out here. So Mary, thank you. And Mr. President, thank you also for doing your thing out there too.
Thank you.
And Mary, I want to say that the honor is well deserved. You have truly earned it. It was not just bestowed upon you just because of your name being Mary Red. You got out there and you did the work, and that's what's important. So I think that it's truly an honor that they would acknowledge the fact that you have done your work, and they're acknowledging you at this time, and also to acknowledge Joe Fleming at this time, because not only has Pastor Joe B. Fleming, as he helped Virginia Union University, he's also done a lot in this community. Once he came into Portsmouth, he has been a transformational figure here in the city of Portsmouth as well. And I think that it's great that at this time you all are naming the scholarship after him. And he too would get to see the love and honor that you have for him as well. So I think that is very befitting for both of you. And I want to say congratulations to both of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Dr. Paula Boone, I want to tell everybody if she looks familiar, she's been a guest on Portsmouth Coffee Talk a few times, talking about her profession and the importance of eye health. So we appreciate her. And even in her retirement, she's still out recruiting students to go into a field that a lot of students don't consider. And where we need some people that look like us in that field. So we appreciate her too.
Yes, good morning.
Colonel, I think you had something else.
Yes, I've got much more to say. Oh, you mean to the Colonel?
No, you know what, ladies first. You go.
I just want to say good morning to everyone. I'm delighted to be here again. I do want to add that Mary Red Nelson is a trailblazer. It is because our National Alumni Association is of the structure that it is because of Mary. She was the one that went to regions during her time when she was working in Richmond, who designated the North, South, East, and West regions of our alumni association, and we are structured because of her visionary example and commitment to having that done. It is because of Mary that we are part of the trustee board of the university. That was not the case prior. She made her case that it is important that the alumni needs to be a part of the board of trustees, that we need our input, we need our seat at the table. It is because of Mary Red Nelson that we have our seat at the table at the board of trustees of Virginia Union University. So absolutely, she has done the work. She was visionary, is visionary even now. She tells us what we need to do, what our perspective needs to be. And yes, there was no other name. I remember when I was going to Virginia Union and I would hear, oh, that's Mary Red Nelson. Wow. And that's, we are still saying the same, wow, because of what she has done and what she continues to do. So I am ecstatic that we are able to show her our love and appreciation for all she has done for the university and for the communities in the Hampton Roads area, her work with the Urban League and other organizations. So absolutely, there was no other name for this organization but using the name of Mary Red Nelson. For Reverend Joe B. Fleming, the same. He also was a visionary, is a visionary because of his work in being an activist in the city of Portsmouth. We just received a video clip from Senator Lucas, who has credited Reverend Joe B. Fleming as leading her into politics. And because of that, we know that she is the first African-American, first woman to be the president pro tem of the U.S. Senate. I mean, of the Senate of the state of Virginia. So yes, because of his activism and of course, his love for Virginia Union has always been in the forefront since he graduated there. He was the speaker back in March 2010. And he says, when I began to think about how I got here, he says, I am indebted to Virginia Union. When I come back to this place, I am overwhelmed with joy, how much I owe. Those are his words. And because of that, we want to permeate that same policy, that same commitment to Virginia Union. And that involves recruitment, that involves talking about the university, the significance kernel of an HBCU, and what it has done. I can use my HBCU, of course, is Virginia Union. So we need to further promote that. So because of Reverend Fleming's staunch support of Virginia Union and his avid fundraising skills that only he has, we thought it appropriate that the Mary Red Nelson Hampton Roads Alumni Chapter officially establish a scholarship that is on will be on the designated website as one of the official scholarships of Virginia Union University. We voted unanimously to do this. And because of his work, we will be having a telethon to roll out the establishment of this scholarship. It's going to be on April the 23rd at 10. It is going to be hosted by the comedian Cletus Cassidy.
Oh,
so
wow.
we're really excited about that.
An Norfolk State grad.
Yeah. So we're excited about that. We've got dignitaries who will be speaking. As I've said, Senator Lucas is at the top of our list and credits her part of her political career because of Reverend Joe B. Fleming. We have city officials, and we even contacted over 35 churches in the area that he's been involved with, including the MLK Leadership Steering Committee, and the other work that he had done in the community. And for us as a chapter, he was always the one when we had our signature event, which is our prayer breakfast on an annual basis, that he would give out the clarion call for donations to Virginia Union University. And I will never forget the prayer breakfast that we had in 2018. We had been pretty well instrumental in getting donations around $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. So I said, well, Pastor Fleming, you're going to be at our breakfast, of course, and would you give the clarion call? And I've been praying that the Lord would give us 10,000. He said, Sister Boone, let's ask for a miracle. Let's ask for 20,000. I said, well, Pastor Joe, I'm with you. 20,000 it is. And during that breakfast, within 20 minutes, we had $20,000 in donations and pledges to Virginia Union University. And after it was done, he just raised his hand as he humbly usually does and moved on right out of the room. So,
And that was from the people in attendance. Am I correct?
that was from the people
That
in the attendance.
in the room at that time. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think we only had about 200 people in the room. And he said, we're going to ask for 20. He said, I'm going to ask for $20,000. We're going to ask for a miracle. And within 20 minutes, we had that miracle. So that just shows you he has the gift of giving. And the wonderful part about it is that he always started himself, not just by asking people to donate. He says, I've got my $1,000 in my hand. I'm going first. Who's going to follow me? So he not only set the example, he set the sample and got the job done. So because of his commitment, because of his example, we were able to realize a miracle in 20 minutes. It was marvelous. I'll never forget it. So absolutely, we want to show him our love and appreciation for all that he has done through the years, not only in the Hampton Roads area, but throughout the Commonwealth of Virginia.
And Slim, we had said before that one of the things that we're going to do different this time is going to be targeted giving. We would like to target the giving to the students that, from the 757 from Hampton Roads. You were there when, on November the 5th, we were giving out the tote survivor bags, and we were asking the students on campus, do they know anyone, any of the students from Hampton Roads? And they said, no, they didn't know anyone from Hampton Roads. And we said, do you know any students from 757? They said, oh yeah, we know 757.
Yeah.
That's what we want to do, is give back to the students and targeted giving to the students at 757. And let me say about Joe B. Fleming, this man loved Virginia Union. He just loved Virginia Union and the outpouring for Virginia Union. I remember as a young kid growing up in the church, and one Sunday out of the year, it was Virginia Union Day. And then we would have a service at church to raise funds for Virginia Union. We just got to get back. So many things are going on with our HBCUs, the threats of bombs and the killings that are taking place all over the city. We just got to get back to let these young people know that we do care about them. And that's the point we want to make with this event, is to generate funds to put into their accounts to let them know that Mary Red Nelson care a lot about them.
You know what? It's great that y'all are doing this, and you know what? And I look at the alumni associations across the country, especially in HBCU schools, and I always say that it should be the backbone of any university program, and so y'all are hitting all the key points as far as recruitment, retention, the mentorship. And the mentorship, it follows from the while you're there, and also as post-graduation. And so that's a great point. But Mr. President, could you say, how do I give to the program? Is there you mentioned a PO box?
Okay, I don't want to step on Paula's. I'm a delegate.
Whatever.
I'm a delegate. President Paula, answer that.
Well, now, before you go there, we were talking about saving democracy and Black women. So I see that you've deferred that to another Black female. And so go ahead and save Mr. President here.
Hey, listen, in order to become a good leader, you got to be a good follower. She's the chairperson of the scholarship committee. And I just got to know where my strengths and weaknesses are.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. There are several ways to give. One would be to go to the website of Virginia Union University, click the donate button, and as soon as the official rollout will be on the 23rd, there will be a designated link that you just scroll down and you will see the Reverend Joe B. Fleming Scholarship in that designated link. You can also give to send a check. Now this will go directly to the university. Like Dennis has said, we are a giving university. We do not stockpile money within our account for many activities. So the actual donation will go directly to Virginia Union University, and they will send you your tax deductible receipt. You can send a check to our post office box, which is
918.
Right. But make the check out to Virginia Union University. And in the memo section, you can put Mary Red Nelson or MRNHRAC, so that we will get the soft credit for the donation, but the individual get the hard tax deductible credit. During the telethon, we will have Ms. Deborah Austin, who is from the Office of Institutional Advancement, and she will be able to take your donation right during the telethon. So there are ways to give via the donate button on the website, our PO box, making your check out to Virginia Union with our chapter designation in the memo section, and then of course, I think that was it. During the telethon, you can actually donate them.
Colonel Leah, before you go, Leah, before you all go, let me segue us out of the radio station. It's approaching 7 o'clock, so we're going to have to leave the radio station and continue on Facebook Live with the conversation. I want to thank all the listeners on WGPL 1350 AM. We want to thank the Bishop for leading us in and giving us that prayer this morning. And we can continue on now, because at some point they will release us from the radio station. Okay. So whoever was going, go ahead.
Hey, Paula, for the telethon, is that going to be on Zoom? How does one participate in the telethon?
It is going to be on Zoom. It will be broadcast. We've been sending out flyers with the link already. So we've been trying to put it out in Facebook and Instagram. We sent the flyers to churches. So I guess we need to do a little more promotion of that, but it will be, we should have brought the flyer, showed you. You don't have to have a flyer, do you, Brother Overston?
No, not that I can pull up right now. I don't know.
He could surely post it on the Portsmouth Coffee Talk page.
Yeah,
yes.
I will post it on our page and and spread it around again like that. So.
All right. Yes, that information is on the flyer. So we look forward to seeing everybody there. April the 23rd at 10. Look for the Mary Red Nelson establishment of the Joe B. Fleming Scholarship Fund for Virginia Union University. April 23rd, 10 o'clock.
We want all our alumni, church members, everybody to come out to give some support to this cause.
And once you raise the
Yeah.
scholarship money, what is the criteria for the student who would like to apply for the scholarship?
We're in the process of developing that now, but of course, the main criteria is going to be that they are from the Hampton Roads area 757,
Okay.
that they are going to be enrolled at Virginia Union University. I believe there is 2.75 GPA, and they may have to do an essay of sort, but your general scholarship criteria.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but the main will be that you are from the Hampton Roads area and being enrolled at Virginia Union University.
Okay. Colonel, you
Yeah.
about to
And
say something?
Yes, could you repeat on the, I missed, you said 918 on the PO box, but the rest of the stuff for the PO box.
Oh,
It's 90. It's nine.
PO Box 9018,
Mhm.
Chesapeake, Virginia 23321.
9018, okay. Perfect.
James, you were about to say.
and I want to, yeah, I want to say the people that heard the story about Reverend Joe B. Fleming raising that money at uh, uh, breakfast in 2018, and you heard that most of that money was raised from the people that were at the breakfast, which were a lot of Unionites. But you don't have to be a Unionite to contribute to us. I mean, we friends of Virginia Union. Maybe you
Yes.
had children or students that went there, or you just want to support a HBCU. And I encourage you to support all the HBCUs. But during our telethon on the 23rd, you can participate and help deserving students get a good down home education. But don't feel like it's for alumni only. You know, we're gonna need help from everybody, because the education, most of the time, the people that are educated at the HBCUs come back to their communities and contribute in a very special way. And Dr. Boone is one of those that did that, as well as Dennis,
Hey, Mary, all three have come
Yes.
back to
and
contribute to the community.
Mm.
Right. Right.
Yes. Yes, indeed. So we're looking forward to the event and hoping that you come out. As I said, it's not only for alumni, as we've know that Reverend Fleming has been instrumental in many areas within the city of Portsmouth, in churches, in the ministerial conference, in the MLK steering committee. So we want everyone, because we will have students, and students need funds. It is expensive to go to college now, and we don't want them to come out with excessive debt, which has generally been the case. In any way that we can help, we will do that. And as I said, our funding goes directly to the university and to our students. We do not stockpile any donations that you make in our account. We give. So we want to show that we have the legacy of giving to the community and to the students.
It is awesome. Anything to help the kids out is good by me. Matter of fact, I just finished wrote my check out, so I'm good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Just finished
And
that.
also the fraternities and
Set the
sororities,
example. Thank you.
fraternities, sororities, the community organizations to come out to participate. We have one of the, I was looking up last night, state of Virginia has 4 HBCUs that are under the 40% ranking in the U.S. World Report. It's Hampton, Virginia State, Norfolk State, and Virginia Union. So, I mean, we got some good HBCUs in the state, in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And Virginia Union is probably one of the oldest HBCUs in the South.
And we want to say the Virginia Union is private. We don't get a lot of those state funds like Norfolk State does. So we need funding. We are for private institutions, so we the ones who really need funding. But our new president is doing an exemplary job. We've gotten $1 million, I understand, from the state of Virginia. We've gotten another $1 million from another company. We're making strides with corporations.
Bank of America.
Bank of America, yes, just gave $1 million. So we need funding for our university. Like I said, we're a small private institution. So We don't get a lot of the state funding. But I believe that the Virginia is doing that in the process. They're trying to figure out a way to include us in that budget. So we thank all of our representatives who are there, Senator Lucas, and then our delegates for making that happen.
And one of our newest members of the chapter members is Delegate Nadarius
Clark, yes.
So he's very active with our chapter, and also the city manager of Portsmouth, Angel Jones. She's very active with our chapter also.
Yes. And, you know, it was mentioned that it's a small university, but over the years, the opportunities for different areas of education have grown. Dennis, I don't know, I won't put you on the spot, but I know you know some of the graduate programs that are there now, the opportunities that certainly weren't there back in the 70s and going into the 80s, but there are tremendous opportunities now for students to come there and pick a field and continue their education while they're still at Virginia Union with their master's programs and even doctor's programs.
I think one of the things that Dr. Lucas said that when he's been there about 5 years, our president, he said one of the things that the COVID did is just time warp Virginia Union. Now they have 54 master's degree program, 1 doctorate program, and I think they have some like 32 undergrad degree programs. And they're looking at the possibility maybe next year, September, of offering an associate degree. He did say that he does not want students to wait 2 years and be intimidated by going to a 4-year program. If you have that associate degree on campus, they can just go through the steps of just being there on campus. So he's a true visionary, and Virginia Union is moving by leaps and bounds. So look at some good things coming out of Union. Our programs have really expanded.
So I don't know if you know this, Dennis, but the associate's degree, for the sake of parents or students might be looking at that, because a lot of students take that route. You know, we have a family member that took that route, and now she's a doctor. You know, of sociology, I think. I'm not sure, but she took that first route. So if they do that at Virginia Union, they won't be going into Virginia Union with that same kind of expense that they would. The expense would be on that associate type level or junior, you know, junior college level.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so it will help them kind of ease into the full-time college price for one thing, and the education they will get. So that's a good thing.
And they would get the college feel. They would get that on-campus college feel, coming to school every day or living on campus or however that it is. They don't have to wait until 2 years and be intimidated by going.
And Paul, I want to give you an opportunity, since you're still doing this, and you came through there, Virginia Union, and went on to be a optometrist. And it's like you said, it's a field that not many of us are in. As a matter of fact, as far as making history, Dr. Boone was one of the first African American woman optometrists in the state of Virginia when she got licensed.
Oh, well, thank you. And I certainly didn't want to be the last. So I've been working to recruit students at Virginia Union, because that's where I started. And my mentors were Dr. John Howlett and his brother Fillmore Howlett, Senator Benjamin Lambert. Were my mentors. So I've been trying to pay it forward, started with Virginia Union, and I'm working with the National Optometric Association, and we have an HBCU mentorship program. We're offering funding and guidance and support to these students. I haven't been able to get one from Virginia Union yet, but I have had 3 from Hampton University, from other HBCUs throughout the nation. So we're moving forward. Like I said, it's not that many of us, and we need African Americans to actually be available to those African Americans who want to see a eye doctor or eye care professional who looks like you, who understands your culture, who understands your lifestyle, who will be conscientious about you and eye disease disparities that are prevalent within the African American community. There are only about 1,400 Black practicing optometrists in the nation out of 41,000. So it is a wide open profession. It gears itself to helping the community at large. Many of them are going into public health. They're getting second degrees in terms of public health to not only go into private practice, but look at how your practice relates to the community that you're actually living in. So I've been working with students at HBCUs, and I think we're making serious strides in that effort. Our program started and we had 3 students in 2020. As of today, I'm starting on my program, trying to finish up my report for this coming ceremony, which will be in June, and we have about 15. So we're making strides with our National Optometric Association. And I thank all of those who are helping us recruit students from HBCUs into the eye care field of optometry. So anybody's interested, call me. We've got support for you and money.
All right.
That's very encouraging. Very encouraging.
Because it is an expensive educational track. Most healthcare professional tracks are very expensive. You know, you're looking at $40,000 a year many times, and that does add up within a 4-year time span. So yeah, but it is doable, and you've got help.
The other thing I wanted to say too is we talk about Virginia Union as a small school, but some of the historic value of Virginia Union. They've had 22 college presidents who graduated from Virginia Union. I was looking at 60 Minutes about 2 or 3 months ago, and one of my classmates, Gregory Robinson, is the director for the James Webb Space Telescope program in NASA, and he's a science program. And he graduated from Virginia Union with a bachelor's degree in math, and went on to Howard to get an engineering degree. So it's Samuel Gravely was the first African-American admiral in the United States Navy. So Virginia Union is all over the place, and we continue to strive for advancement.
Our first Black governor.
Yeah, yes, indeed.
Yeah, and what's amazing about that, Doug Waller majored in chemistry when he was at Union. So he changed direction, while he was there. So you can start one way and end up another way. So it's good thing he still could have been governor as a chemistry major and a doctor or something like that. So.
And the first president of Norfolk State College, Norfolk State University, Lyman Beecher Brooks, was a graduate of Virginia Union University.
A long history there. A very long history.
Good.
Mary, did you have anything you wanted to say at this time?
No, I just would say I'm happy that we are on the show today telling our story, and I want the public to understand that it's important to support you on. When I was doing one of my jobs was with a Jewish family, and when I told him I was leaving to go to college, and he told me, Mary, whatever you do, support your own first. And that is something we as African Americans have forgotten somehow. And we need to understand, no matter what is available out there, what interracial or whatever school you can go to, support your own first. Yeah. And remember, years ago, it was the African American community who worked hard to open doors for all of us. And so you keep your history going. You may go to whatever other school you want to go to, but keep the history of the African American institutions going. And that's what I say to you. So Virginia Union is important, not only as in a religious aspect, but because it was a community-based school that people worked hard to have a private school that Black folk could go to and make an impact on our community. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mary. James?
And Colonel, I know you agree with how important the HBCUs are, especially these days with certain factions of our government trying to stop, the real history of being taught or told. So, but it won't hinder HBCUs because they can't get to us in that way.
Well, I would tell you, yes, they don't want to. They want to stop and rewrite history. But Mary hit a couple of important parts when we talk about our history. And HBCUs grew up because we couldn't go anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at society now, how the money is going, if we don't support our HBCU schools, then we won't get help other ways, because the Confederates on the other side have tried to stop funding for HBCU schools, and it's bled over to the Biden administration put money out there for the Black farmers. So all of a sudden, the Confederates out there have said that is an affirmative action program, and so they've stopped money going to those Black farmers out there. That is the same kind of thing they're putting out, the Confederates of the Republican Party, saying about funding for HBCU schools. They're saying that's an affirmative action. Why should they get a set aside? So we need to keep up the fight. Keep up the fight and support our universities and colleges and the HBCUs across this country. And if we don't do it, we do it to our own destruction or our own deaths in the long run. And so we need to keep doing this. And so so what we're talking about today is for our survival of basically our country and all minorities, because we are the bedrock of this country.
And
Go ahead.
For those who may be just coming on, this is Virginia Union University, and they are preparing to celebrate Joe B. Fleming by having a scholarship named in his honor. And Paula, why don't you give the information out again for those who may not have heard earlier, the date, the time, and who's involved in your fundraiser?
All right. The rollout of the establishment of the scholarship is going to be April the 23rd at 10, probably from 10 to 11:30. We're having comedian Cletus Cassidy to host it. We will have dignitaries from our local municipalities as well as from the General Assembly, talking about how Reverend Joe B. Fleming impacted their lives. And of course, we know he has always been an avid supporter, giver to Virginia Union University, and we just want to celebrate his legacy of giving and promote that same philosophy among the community, not only Virginia Union alumni, but all in the 757 area and beyond, because the funding that we generate during the telethon would go to our students. It is not going to our checking account as an alumni. It is going directly to Virginia Union University in support of students from the Hampton Roads area 757 code. So please join.
And Paula, even though that telethon event will be a great event to witness, but you don't have to give in that window, in that 10 o'clock to 11:30 window. You can give, before and after.
Oh, absolutely.
So
just go to the.
Just want to let people know that.
Just go to the Virginia Union website, click donate, go to the designated fund of Reverend Joe B. Fleming Scholarship and make your donation there. So this is a permanent establishment. This is simply just the rollout on the 23rd. But whenever you want to give to a student in the area, just go to the VUU website and donate there, or you can send us a check and we will forward it to the university. And that's P.O. Box 9018, Chesapeake, Virginia.
23321.
23321.
Exactly.
And I like to say to everybody, although this is our focus today, right there, just like the fraternities and sororities have the Divine Nine, there's a kinship between the HBCUs that we compete, but we try to support each other. And Leah, we've talked about what we're going to do in the next few months as far as featuring locally here. Other HBCUs, such as Norfolk State. Well, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Yes, we're just excited that we thought that this was the appropriate time for us to highlight HBCUs in light of the fact that a lot of students are graduating in June. And in my going around and talking to the students, I'm hearing a number of students saying, well, I really want to go to an HBCU, but I don't know which one I want to go to. So we think that this is the proper format for us to at least get the information out there to the students about the various HBCUs in Virginia that they can surely go to. And we're going to highlight these HBCUs on the morning show as well as on our evening edition, which comes out on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. And we will start this week on Thursday night with Elizabeth City State University. We won't have the alumni chapter, but we are going to have Dr. Juliet Borkins, who has connections with Norfolk State, with IC Norcom, as well as with Elizabeth City State University. So we're excited to have her on this week. And then the next Thursday, we will have Norfolk State University, and none other than we will have their alumni chapter featured on the Thursday evening show. So show love for your HBCUs by listening in and not only listening in, but supporting your HBCUs. So we're asking all the Virginia Union University graduates and those who even wish to have attended Virginia Union University to please support your university, support Virginia Union, support them in this fundraiser, and support all of the other HBCUs as they will come on the show to share information about their schools. Now, tell me something that's fascinating about the campus of VUU for a student who may want to go to VUU.
I'll start off by saying one thing right now. It's a good thing that students don't have to be in Kingsley Hall anymore. That was my first experience in Kingsley Hall, and my Unionites will know how that is. That was like, I mean, it was a good experience, but radiator heat. But anyway, that's one thing. Now they have more modern places for the students to be accommodated.
I think they have some plans for the Huntley Hall and the Kingsley Hall. Housing is being stepped up quite a bit. They have purchased a hotel across the street, and they will be using that to promote their entrepreneurship department.
Wonderful.
They have received funding for that, and I understand that they will have the bottom portion of the building structure is going to be for Black businesses. The upper portion, I understand, is going to be housing for single mothers who want to come to the university. So they're stepping up their housing availability to reflect the environment that we're now living in. So there will be those who will be able to attend and have children.
Very good.
I think one of the things that really fascinated me about Virginia Union was when I was there, it was a small campus, but the teachers cared. Many of the professors were doctors, they were retired, they had established other careers, but if they took attendance and you had to go to chapel, if you didn't have enough chapel credit, you had to take a religion class before you graduated. and they just pushed you and motivated you to go to that next level. The campus was so small, you had to speak to people, because everybody knew everybody.
Mhm.
You know, amazingly, a lot of the people I speak to see Virginia Union just as the school to groom pastors, and that they develop great pastors at Virginia Union. But Virginia has much, much more to offer than just the
Yes.
religious aspect of it, and the kids need to know that as well.
Absolutely. Like you said, they now have quite a few master's degree programs in public health and all other avenues. And so it is far beyond the theological seminary that many think of when you say Virginia Union. But now it's a global community environment that will expand their educational opportunities far beyond that. So I would encourage them to go to the VUU website and and look at the new degrees that they are offering now.
And I just want to
Yeah.
say,
Mary.
one thing that you might think is a small thing, but what I loved about Virginia Union, I love the buildings
Mhm.
because it looks like a Yale and other places.
It
It
does. It
does.
does.
Lovely campus.
And so
Those
I
big
love those
stone buildings.
buildings.
Mhm.
That's right. And you don't see any other schools with that. So I just love those buildings to look at them. But that wasn't what got me involved. Virginia Union reached out to the community, and they were involved in the community, and that's where I started my community action stuff out from Virginia Union. Virginia Union was involved in the entire community, so they reached out to people in the community, and we need that. We talk about black crime and that kind of thing now, but we need our schools to be more interconnected to the community, reaching out to our young people, inviting them in. And Union invited kids in. Kids from the community could come into community because it was small, but they came in, and that's important. So we don't need to stray away from that. And that is what I like about Virginia Union. They were involved in the community. People knew about Virginia Union. And so we need to continue to do that. You saw the teachers and the professors and so forth, and the sorority people. You saw them when you get together. So I like that part about it. It was a home for people who may not have had homes, love for people who needed the love. And that's the kind of thing that I enjoyed about that. They reached out to you.
And and the great thing about it is I have a friend who was taking some courses at some of the other universities, and finally decided to take a course at an HBCU. And he said, that's the best decision that I've ever made. He said, I've never had instructors who actually called and was concerned about what I was doing and why wasn't I making the grades I'm supposed to make. He said, what happened? He said, I said, you should have been in the HBCU a long time ago. So now you see the value, because when you go to an HBCU, it prepares you for what you're going to be facing when you get out into this real world. Because they sugarcoat it at the other schools, but at the HBCU, they let you know what you're going to be facing, how you can face those things that you're going to come against once you graduate from college. So they prepare you for life. No surprises for you when you leave an HBCU, because when you get to HBCU, all the surprises you've been made aware of.
Right.
And it's a great journey. It's a great journey.
Yes.
And I'll say this about my daughter Jamie. She went to Memphis University and has 2 masters from PWIs, but she's working on her PhD at Clark Atlanta. So she's finishing up her career at HBCU, which is what she really wanted to do once she got a taste of going to a homecoming at Howard University. And she realized, wow, what did I miss? But she's finishing up her PhD at Clark Atlanta HBCU after going to all those PWIs. But Nothing against that. That's where the money was for her to attend college. So, and let me say this before we end. I want to go back to Juliet Borkins, who will be on here Thursday night. Please watch the show because she has told the story about when she became a band director on the college level. It was 5 female out of the HBCUs, 100 plus, 5 female band directors, and right now it's 3. And 2 of them are in Virginia, and one of them is at Virginia Union.
Wow.
So
Right.
you might want to listen to that show and hear her story and what needs to be done, and hear some of the things she went through or what she was told about being her aspirations about being a band director on the college level. So please tune in on Thursday night at 7 o'clock on Portsmouth Coffee Talk, the evening edition.
And there's nothing like an HBCU band. Do you hear me?
That's true.
There is
That's
nothing
true.
like an
Big,
HBCU
big and
band.
small.
Big
Yes,
and small. I tell you, when my
Yeah.
granddaughter was trying to figure out where she wanted to go to school, she was looking at various schools. She went to Hampton. She went all over. She was going to go to Hampton. Oh, I'm going to Hampton. I'm going to Hampton. And went down to North Carolina A&T to the homecoming, and she was lost forever. so
I know.
she fell in love with North Carolina A&T, but there's nothing like being in HBCU. And we need to get some of
It
those
is true.
HBCU students on here as well to talk about
Yes.
their life and times at an HBCU.
Yeah,
Yes.
I just wanted to say I didn't have an option. My father went to Virginia Union, my brother went to Virginia
Yes.
Union, so there was no question for me. I was going to Virginia Union,
The choice.
and I've been delighted
Mhm.
ever since.
Slim, I want to give another plug to Virginia Union. The Richmond Times-Dispatch article said 25 students will receive full tuition scholarships to Virginia Union from graduation from the Henrico County Public High School in 2026. So
Wonderful.
the union is forward thinking, and these kids got full rides to
Good.
Virginia Union. They're also going after the Latino population. Some of these kids are graduating top of their class, number 1, number 2, number 3, but they don't get scholarships.
Exactly.
Why not recruit them to our HBCUs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's what they're starting to do now.
Great,
Mhm.
great. Being innovative. That's a good thing.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a good thing.
And you do see some white students going to HBCUs, taking advantage of the minority scholarship.
Mhm.
But anyway, the band director at Virginia Union is Faye Tony Cousins, and she's done an amazing job with a small band there. But when they're on the field, they sound to me just as large as FAMU. Well, not as loud, but as far as precision
And quality.
and professionalism, they match up to that. And matter of fact, her dad was in school when I was at Union, so we are proud of her at a time when I think one of the presidents had stopped the band. But we won't go into that. But
Oh, yeah.
stopped the band, and that was, and she came in some years later. And saw yeah. But anyway, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank the members of the Mary Red Nelson Hampton Roads Alumni Chapter of Virginia Union University for being our guest today and giving information about the upcoming telethon. And please participate in that and watch it. It's going to be entertaining because of Cletus Cassidy and some of the other guests.
It will be.
Cletus will keep it moving, and I guarantee you, he's going to have some Norfolk. He's a just watch. You're going to enjoy what he has to say about Norfolk State and Virginia Union, the rivalry.
And don't
so thank you, everybody.
Donate. John, don't just watch. Donate.
Yes, donate.
Right.
And Colonel Chapman has started the ball rolling. He is already.
Yes, thank you, Colonel.
So great job, Colonel.
Thank you.
Okay, and thanks everybody for watching on Facebook Live.
Yes.
And Portsmouth Coffee Talk is here for our voice,
our community,
in our future.
We thank you, everybody, for watching, and we appreciate you. Take care, Mary Red, Dennis Riddick, and Dr. Paula Boone. Have a great day.
Thank you for inviting
And
us.
as we prepare to
Thank you
leave,
for having,
Dr.
thank you
Dr.
very
Paula
much.
Boone
Thank you
is
for having us today.
also instrumental in this IC Norcom reunion coming up. So we'll be talking to you later, okay?
All right, thank you. I got a couple of questions for you.
Okay, very good. And Eric
All
Perriman,
right.
Eric Perriman said, I would definitely donate to the scholarship. Reverend Fleming was a very big supporter of mine when I was in the restaurant business. He fed the homeless at my place. Every time he saw me, he gave me some life advice. I will never forget 40 years ago, I was a little boy. He preached a sermon on the potter and the clay. I say
All
all
right.
the time, he's the most respected Black on the East Coast. Thank you,
Wow.
Eric Perriman, for those words. And what a way for us to leave the
Yes.
show on today. Great job.
Yes. Wonderful.
And
Woo.
Norcom students, if you want to save some money on your wardrobe, go to Virginia Union, same colors.
Yeah.
How about that?
Maroon and gray and maroon and steel, same colors.
Same
So
colors.
you don't even have to
Yeah.
spend a lot of money changing to white and blue or behold. There you
Behold the
go.
green and
Good
gold.
point. Good point.
All
For,
right.
Plus you get a
for
scholarship.
real,
You said,
for
plus
real, the maroon and steel.
you said, plus you get a scholarship,
All
huh,
right.
Paula?
Plus you get a scholarship.
Very
And
good.
state tuition.
Yes.
We got to keep
Yes.
that rivalry going.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
God
Thank
bless
you.
you.
God bless
Bye-bye.
everyone. Have a great evening.
Wonderful
All
day.
right.
Great week.
Let me stop.